Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, June 11th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day, to just be still and quiet and know that God is God and be in the presence of God. I've been reading my way through the Gospel of Mark, and we are up to Mark 8:38 to 50. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second here. But before I do so, I want to say that next week I will be taking some vacation time. So I'm not able to pre-record all of the Take a Break, Take a Breath. So we will be together again starting on June 21st will be the next Take a Break, Take a Breath time. This passage falls on the heels of the earlier passage about Jesus and his passion and what it means to be a disciple, that it means to be a servant. This one builds on that and goes farther. It's a passage that really, one commentator calls it Proverbs for discipleship and talks about them as rather extreme and harsh and filled with hyperbole, and that's a fair description of them because there's hands getting cut off and eyes getting poked out, and all of those things are meant to be hyperbole, not reality, and they're meant to make it clear just how important discipleship should be to us, not that we would do those things. The verse that I want to focus on with you is from verse 38. John said to him, "Teacher, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he was not following us." Now, Jesus goes on to say in that text, whoever is not against us is for us. And yet in another place, he says, whoever is not for me is against me. Notice the difference in the pronouns, us and me. Here we have disciples that are worried about protecting their turf, which was probably something that was going on in the early church, and it still goes on today. People are still worried about protecting their turf. Where is my place in the church? Which is a good question. Where is my place in the church? But when we get protective of that place and want to push others out because they're threatening our place, then we've gone astray and lost it for a moment. So I want to think with us about this. We saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he wasn't following us. Meaning the disciples, not Jesus. He was following Jesus because he was casting out demons in the name of Jesus. And that's a whole other thing we could talk about. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and to close your eyes and settle into a chair and then close your eyes. That's a better order. And as you do so, to feel the comfort and strength of that chair and to allow it to support you and to allow that support then to enable you to relax. Keep your eyes closed and breathe deeply. As you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of your worries and your fears and your your anxieties. Continue to breathe deeply and to allow the peace of God to grow in you. Imagine it like cool water on a hot day flowing over you. It flows over your head, and as it does so, it brings relaxation to you, and it calms your mind, and your mind settles and becomes calm and peaceful. It runs down over your face, and it causes you to smile. As it runs down over your neck and shoulders and back, it washes away the burdens of the day. As it runs down over your chest, your breathing stays deep and steady, and your heart rate is calm and peaceful. As it runs down over your belly, your stomach settles, and any butterflies that are there are calm. As it runs down over your legs, the muscles in your legs that have been going up and down the stairs and running here and there are refreshed and renewed, and the aches in your feet are washed away. You are washed in the peace and presence of God. In your mind's eye, imagine a gathering of church people. They're all in their groups, circles of people over in one corner, a circle of people in the middle, a circle of people in another corner. When you walk in, you're new, not sure where to go or what to do. There are chairs around the outside of the room. And so you pick up something to drink and you go and sit in one of the chairs. Someone comes and sits beside you. It's a sweet, older woman with a pleasant smile. She welcomes you. She recognizes the dynamics of what is going on in the room and chats in a cheery way about it, but there is a certain sadness as well. Recognizing that people break up into their groups and don't welcome newcomers into their groups and have trouble with one another. And then she says some things that surprise you, that let you know that she's not just anyone from the church, that she's a messenger of God, a representative of God's presence in the midst of this community. The two of you are able to talk freely with one another because no one else is listening. What's the nature of that conversation for you? I'll be quiet while the two of you talk. Well, the time comes for the conversation to end, and so the two of you ended in whatever way is appropriate. She smiles and tells you it was nice to talk with you. And you allow that image to fade away. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Friday, June 11th. Remember that next week there won't be any take a break, take a breath sessions, and we'll be together again on June 21st.